My mother died only 2 months ago. Dad is eager to take his illegitimate daughter home. She looked at my fiancé with tears in her eyes. I really envy my sister for having such an outstanding boyfriend. At the family gathering every 3 months, Dad brought a girl. He said, "This is your sister Lu Ruyan. We'll be a family from now on." I looked up at the girl behind my father. She is very beautiful. A pair of eyes are long and filled with water vapor. Very lovable. Oh, illegitimate daughter. As soon as I said this, Lu Ruyan bit her lips. Eyes that were already filled with tears. It was like losing control for a moment. Pearl-like tears streaked across her delicate cheeks, falling on a Dior dress. "How does Wei Ran speak?" Dad said to me with an unhappy look on his face. She also turned back to help Lu Ruyan wipe her tears. "It's okay, your sister is a very nice person. And Dad is here. Dad will take care of you at home." My fiancé Ji Jinha gently held my hand under the table, looked at me and asked if I want help. I shook my head gently. "I don't even care about an illegitimate daughter. Why don't you sit down?" I cross my arms, elbows on the table. Double chin rests lightly on the back of your hand. Standing there awkwardly in front of a room full of people. The bewildered crowd. Smile. Visitors are guests. Min's wife brought a chair. Just move next to my cousin. Ruyan sits next to me. Dad saw me relax. Relax your front slightly. Walk to my cousin. Dad sits on my left. The seat to his right used to be my mother's. Lu Ruyan is not qualified to sit in front of me. You are not even qualified to sit in my mother's position. Dad looks embarrassed. Said to me earnestly, "Wei Ran, Ruyan comes to my house for the first time. I'm afraid she won't be used to it. Dad is old. I just want the family to enjoy the happiness of family life together. Can you be more sensible?" "A family? With whom?" "Dad. Are you planning to bring this mistress mother into the family as well? My sister hates me. Just scold me. Please don't shame my mother." Lu Ruyan cried, holding the dress tightly with both hands. Biting lips. Pale face. The body doesn't know because of shame. Still trembling with anger. "So you also know that mistresses are despised?" Dad slammed the table. Yelled at me. "Do you really have to embarrass her? Ruyan is simple-minded. I haven't fulfilled my responsibilities as a father in these years. I want to compensate her now. Why can't you accept her? You have been living the life of a rich lady these years. Ruyan is suffering outside. Why can't you put yourself in their shoes?" "I can't put myself in their shoes. After all, my mother is not a mistress. I have never been an illegitimate daughter. Simple-minded." Lu Ruyan is wearing all branded clothes. The watch on my hand is priced at 300,000 yuan on the official website. Just past me. The perfume on her body is the latest Chanel. A body of fine skin and tender flesh. He doesn't look like someone who has suffered. Look at Ji Jinhe's eyes. Don't mention how ambiguous it is. Her eyes are red. Pursed his lips in grievance. Then, as if making a great decision, bowed to me. "I'm sorry, sister. Don't be angry with me and Dad. Ruyan, don't cry. I have the final say on this one." Lu Yongtao looked at Lu Ruyan with a distressed face. "You are just too sensible. I'm sorry that Dad made things difficult for you. This shows that I am ignorant. Ruyan has no father since she was a child. Now it's finally possible for the father and daughter to be reunited. Sister Wei Ran doesn't have to be so harsh." A cousin with a sense of justice was suddenly born. Everyone at the table looked at him with complicated expressions. This young and energetic boy. What else do you want to say after receiving Lu Ruyan's grateful look? He was interrupted by his mother. "Shut up." His mother's face turned ugly. The look in her eyes when she looked at him changed from heartache to disappointment. "It's all my fault. Make the elders unhappy." Lu Ruyan cried again. "I shouldn't have come. You just sit here. I wonder who in this house dares to kick you out." Just when I was about to say something, Ji Jinha, hold my hand. Come close to my ear. Speak in a voice that only the two of us can hear. You'll be the bad guy. Then he sneered. Speak softly. Don't be so high profile when your illegitimate daughter comes home. Adding a chair is already a great honor. Uncle Liu's voice is very cold. I can hardly hear the temperature. It's not your place as an outsider to speak out about our family affairs. Ji Jinha didn't even look at the angry Lu Yongtao. Cut the steak slowly with a knife and fork. You don't want a few days. The business community all thought you were helping your illegitimate daughter, bullying the original wife's daughter. I will always support Wei Ran. Only supports Wei Ran. Jijin his home. He used to be our company's largest customer. He and I also met through business dealings. Development to today. Jijin his words are a reminder. It is also a threat. The company's development has stagnated over the years. There are signs of bankruptcy. After I came back from studying abroad. Start from the grassroots. After becoming the company president step by step. The entire company within a year. Win 2 big projects. Only then can we turn the tide. Let the company develop further. People in the business community have a high degree of recognition of me. I can build a company. It will destroy him. Lu Ruyan looked towards Jijinha. A pair of red eyes. There are many complex emotions. I really envy my sister for having such a fiancé. A good cup of tea. Jijinha said. Sister Lin, please make a pot of green tea for a while. Wei Ran wants to drink. I snickered. Lu Yongtao looked at me with a complicated expression. He held Lu Ruyan's hand and comforted her for a few words. Signaled Sister Lin to move her seat next to her cousin. Move next to your cousin. I think my brother likes him. Jijinha said. While putting the cut steak in front of me. Wink at me. Praise me written all over your face. And the cold-faced god who had just embarrassed Lu Yongtao. As if not alone. Dining room. I saw Lu Ruyan talking to his aunt. She's full of flattery. But the other party seemed to be completely indifferent to him. Aunt's husband. I don't know how many lovers he has outside. She solved many of them herself. It's just because of the company's conflict of interest. Never the worst. She hated the existence of illegitimate children like Lu Ruyan the most. Her son just spoke up to defend Lu Ruyan. My aunt's dislike for her will only increase, not decrease. I even suspect that he wants to change his son. And, your company's project last week. The board approved further details. We will go to the company tomorrow to discuss in detail. Well, she gave me a grateful smile. I used to be the only heir of the Lu family. Now Lu Ruyan appears. There is one more first-in-line heir. Of course I want to grab as many allies as possible. Let Lu Ruyan get nothing. After all, my parents founded the company together. It was not invested by my mother. Lu Yongtao. In fact, he is just a gigolo who marries into a wealthy family. It's impossible to let Lu Ruyan take it away. My mother left me a penny. After the banquet, Jijinha asked me if I wanted to move out. I shook my head. This house belongs to my mother. I am not the one leaving. Did I perform well today? He looked up at me. Like a little kid asking for praise. Barely good. Is there a reward? Reward you. I got close to his face. You can clearly see. Eyelashes cast shadows under his eyes. Jijin's eyes lit up instantly. The ears are slightly red. Reward you to help me see. Dress for your mom's birthday party. Bring me back my jewelry. All right. You have the final say. He made all kinds of expressions to show me that he was wrong. Even the ears drooped. Be good. I reached out and ruffled his hair. Call me if you have anything. Good, I have such a great boyfriend. I might make the most of it. I can't stand being wronged. I go to the living room. Lu Ruyan sat on the sofa holding the hem of her skirt. The pitiful look in his eyes as he huddled aside and looked at me. Although I had been dodging. But I from inside. I saw the disgust and jealousy that were hard to conceal. I said to Sister Lin beside me. Clean up the guest room on the first floor for her to stay in. Good lady. The gentleman asked you to come back and visit his study. I see. I went back to my room and changed my clothes. Then he slowly went to the study. Compared to Lu Ruyan, I am even more disgusted by Lu Yongtao who is unfaithful to his family. When I was little, he was always busy and didn't come home. There is basically no memory of him in my childhood. I didn't expect him to show up anymore. After returning home, I found out that my mother had been ill for a long time. When my mother was in the hospital, I couldn't see him. It was also at that time. I found out that Lu Yongtao had a woman outside. I have a daughter who is only 2 years younger than me. I advised my mother to divorce. She touched my hair and said to me, Mom, there's not much time left. Divorce now. Things that originally belonged to you will be taken away by another person. It's not fair. At my mother's funeral, Lu Yongtao standing in the church. She kept crying in front of the people who came to pay their respects, playing the role of an affectionate husband. I wonder how long he can pretend. But 2 months. He was anxious to bring him home. Get your mood in order. I knocked on the study door. Come in, Dad. You find me. He looked back at me. There was a little fatigue on his face. Kindness that I rarely see. He said your mother taught you very well. Certainly. I think that in all aspects, I am no worse than anyone else. I am old and I owe Ruyan a lot. Otherwise, she should be as good as you now. So Dad still hopes you can accept him. She is your sister after all. Compared to those childhoods when he rarely appeared, I don't know if he feels that he owes me everything you have now. All of my 26 years. It is obtained through continuous learning and hard work. These years, the money Lu Yongtao spent on them, at least 7 figures. It may even exceed 8 digits. I don't think Lu Ruyan got the resources. How is he worse than me? She's just like his mother. Want to rely on a face. Just rely on a man to have no worries about food and clothing for life. I see. Lu Yongtao's nervous expression relaxed slightly. Then he slowly spoke. I guess I assigned Yan a position in the company. Then let her take the position I took when I first joined the company. Sales. Ruyan is thin-skinned. Maybe I can't bear this hardship. Just let him work as a secretary in your office. Just an assistant or something. Didn't Dad just tell me to accept her? I just accept her. It won't give her a good foothold. You can't protect her forever. At least let these families, business partners recognize her value. This will allow her to develop better in the future, right? Even if it's for her future marriage consideration. Dad should train him well. You don't want her to marry casually. People from big families are very harsh in judging others. Lu Yongtao looked at me deeply. Do you really accept Ruyan? Wei Ran no longer has a mother. I don't want to lose my dad again. For Dad, I'm willing to try to accept her. In his eyes, a feeling similar to guilt arises. I smiled at him. Said, just let my sister go to the company and start working directly tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Not hard. I will make her lose the kindness of the company's employees forever. It will make her a laughingstock in the business. She will never get ahead. Come out of the study. Lu Ruyan is waiting for me at the stairs. But she greeted me as if we met by chance. Elder sister. Were you talking to your dad? You guys have such a good relationship. No. Your relationship is good. She blocked my way up the stairs. I can only act as his sister and accompany him on the stairs. She bit her small, rosy lips. With red eyes, he told me. Elder sister. I know you hate me. I was born like this. I can't change it either. I rolled my eyes inwardly. Reach out and pinch her chin. Force her to look up and look me in the eye. If you stay in the dark, I can still pity you a little. But you shamelessly walked up to me. Acknowledged the identity of an illegitimate daughter. I still want to be an innocent white lotus. You think it's too beautiful. My sister can't tolerate me. Can't accommodate. The door of the study opened. Lu Ruyan shed tears. Leaning back. Empty feet. Seeing the body about to fall. I immediately changed my direction. With his back to Lu Yongtao. Block his view. Pull Lu Ruyan over. Throw her against the wall. Seeing her painful expression. Sneer. Leaning against her ear. Say it in a voice that only the two of us can hear. These little tricks. I'd better not bring it out to embarrass myself in the future. Seeing her speak. I raised my voice and said to my sister. It was Dad's idea to let you go to the sales department. No matter how angry you were, you shouldn't have pushed me at the stairs. I was the one who held you back just now. If you don't hold it, your father would be so worried if you fell. Dad is so good to you. So good that I envy you. Why can't you understand his good intentions? Talking. My voice was choked up. Lu Ruyan, with tears on her face, watched my performance. The round eyes suddenly widened. Sister, what are you talking about? It was you who pushed your sister. Dad, this is all for your own good. Ruyan, your sister is talking about. She started out as a salesperson when she joined the company. Now everyone in the company trusts her. You do your best. Sooner or later, You will be in your sister's position. You got into my position so quickly. The abacus is really loud. Lu Ruyan reached out and wiped away her tears. Then he threw himself into Lu Yongtao's arms, weeping softly. Dad, I'm just afraid of embarrassing you. I didn't want to quarrel with my sister. Just do your best. Wei Ran will also help you in the company. Stop crying. Lu Yongtao touches Lu Ruyan's hair. A face of pampering. Looking at his red face. I feel so sad. Hurry to make her happy. I've been crying all day. It's swollen like a red apple. Dad, if nothing happens, you'll leave first. I have to get up early to go to the company tomorrow. I turned my face. The voice is just right to choke. Wei Ran, what's wrong with you? Nothing is. Dad never hugged me like this. I raised my head. Want to make yourself look like nothing happened. Try to put on a decent smile. Tears fall along with smiles. Looks like a little girl whose strong shell is broken. Lu Yongtao's face suddenly fell. He opened his mouth. I didn't say anything for a long time. Shock and guilt filled his eyes. Close the door. I just breathed a sigh of relief. Tears that can be shed at any time are worthless. When the time is right, a tear can stir up thousands of waves in people's hearts. I naturally don't have any illusions about Lu Yongtao. Just to deal with Lu Ruyan in the future. Just a little foreshadowing. He felt that even without Lu Ruyan, he still has me to rely on. Just finished the meeting. The assistant came to tell me about Lu Ruyan. During the time he came to the company, he hinted to employees that he was the daughter of the Lu family. Just like I did back then, I experienced life. Sooner or later, he will be my equal. Her last name is Lu. Brand name all over. After get off work, asked the driver to pick him up at the company gate. High-profile display of his identity to company employees. Soon, the second daughter of the Lu family came to the sales department to experience life. It spread. One day you will be my equal. It's a beautiful thought. She has been in contact with people from the Qin family recently. You've done enough homework. I know that the Qin family is my mortal enemy. Want to join forces with him to bring me down. Then you'll give him this chance. Just finished a big project. Thank you for your hard work. Go order a cup of milk tea for everyone in the company. Go to my account. Manager Zhang from the sales department was on a business trip last week. Just returned to the company. He may not know about the personnel adjustment in the sales department. When you deliver the milk tea later, go and tell him about it. Just give him a heads up. This quarter's performance is still far from enough. My good sister. But I am looking forward to Lu Ruyan's performance. I hope she can surprise me. That afternoon, Manager Zhang rushed to the office. This quarter's performance is still halfway completed. How do you work? Everyone looked at the furious Manager Yang and dared not speak. As he spoke, he handed over the document in his hand. Fell on Lu Ruyan's desk. Do you not even open your work software at work? Lu Ruyan glanced at the computer in panic. Immediately acted frightened. Freshly applied lip gloss. Make her lips look like peaches. Nose twitching. Eye sockets are slightly red. Even the tip of the nose is stained a little red. I feel pity for you. I'm sitting in the president's office. I took the coffee from the assistant. Enjoyed the good show on the surveillance screen. I've never heard that the Lu family has a second daughter. The mistress died and then appeared. A bit of skill. Manager Zhang is a straightforward person. Always unforgiving with words. And he was promoted by his mother. Lu Ruyan was shocked by what he said. The whole face is clear. I don't care who you are. I hope you won't act like a big lady. Bring it to me at work. Do you understand? No. I will be transferred to the Shanghai branch soon. So who has achieved the highest performance this month? Who can take my seat? Do you understand? Manager Zhang threw the temptation big enough. Competitive pressure on Ruyan Lu. It can be said that it is getting bigger and bigger. After get off work that night, I waited for her downstairs. See her come out. Wave at her. Sister, do you have something to ask me? Get on board. She hesitated. Or sit in the passenger seat. I'm used to working in the sales department. I should be leaving here soon. Just complete this month's mission. I can get a higher position. I was in the sales department. Completed half a year's performance in 1 month. The requirements are not too difficult. Come on. Because I have enough strength. So although I am still young, but Manager Zhang and the others are very convinced of me. The corner of her mouth twitched. I envy you. Seems like I'm always the winner. But you are born a winner than me. She didn't know what she was thinking. A mocking smile. When it's just the two of us. She doesn't even want to pretend. I will get everything from you sooner or later. Wait and see. Including Ji Jinha. Seeing that I didn't speak, Lu Ruyan continued to provoke. When he slept with me. But I never mentioned your name. He is with you. It's simply because you are Miss Lu. Now I am also a member of the Lu family. Shall dump you sooner or later. Then the corners of his mouth curved. Tears fall one by one. Say with a wrong expression. Elder sister. You have everything. Just give Ji Jinha back to me. My bottom line is not high. But there are some things you should never touch. For example, Ji Jinha. I looked at her. Eyes narrowed into a dangerous arc. I drove the car onto a remote road. Stopped the car. Looking at Lu Ruyan's pale face. Very satisfied. There are many homeless people on this path. A few days ago, someone was raped by a homeless person here. What do you want to do? What would happen if I left you here? You dare. I put a finger to his lips. Then he put his hands on the back of her neck. Soothed her body that was shaking with fear. Just know you're afraid. Don't try to irritate me. Because you'll be miserable. So, do you know what to say and what not to say when you get home? Lu Ruyan cheek nods like you. Tears flowed down my face to my neck. Wipe my hands. Dry your tears and go home. Lu Ruyan entered the room and threw herself into Lu Yongtao's arms. Act like a kitten. Dad is so tired. You are as spoiled as your mother. On the dining table, Lu Yongtao asked Lu Ruyan how she was doing in the company. Fortunately, it requires a lot of effort. I am not like my sister who studied abroad in a prestigious university. Everything is easy to do. I worked hard to get into college. Nothing. As far as I know. Lu Ruyan is also a student at a famous domestic university. As for how he got in, it's hard to say. Won't. Sister can teach you. No one knows everything from the beginning. As I said this, I picked up a piece of food for Lu Ruyan. Lu Yongtao watched my movements. Show a satisfied smile. Tell Lu Ruyan to listen to your sister more. She is excellent. I will. I asked my assistant to check it for me. Everything about Ji Jinha during her college years. Especially those related to Lu Ruyan. I didn't believe Lu Ruyan's words. I don't think Ji Jinha's vision is that bad. Judging from his reaction when he saw Ji Jinha that day. She does know Ji Jinha. I like him very much. So I don't allow anyone to make a fuss about him. Weekend morning. I just closed the kitchen door. Then I heard Ji Jinha's voice in the living room. And Lu Ruyan's laughter. I'm not in a hurry to go down. With both hands on the railing on the second floor, looking at the living room. Brother Jinha. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Lu Ruyan looked at Ji Jinha. When my eyes are full of twinkling little stars. I don't know what I thought. She lowered her head and gently bit her pink lips. A touch of red on the cheeks. Like being tipsy after drinking. After the separation from university. I met you here. Is it a destined fate? As he spoke, he leaned slightly towards Ji Jinha. When the white and tender arms were about to approach Ji Jinha, the latter avoided her. Sitting on the sofa opposite Lu Ruyan. Keep the farthest distance from her. Brother Jinha. In the past, when our department was doing activities, you and me. Lu Ruyan put her hands behind her back and stirred. Taking small steps, I approached Ji Jinha little by little. Standing in front of Ji Jinha. Bend down to make your line of sight level with Ji Jinha. The loose collar reveals his chest. Ji Jinha showed a bored expression. Don't call me brother. My fiancé will be unhappy. I allow you to call me brother-in-law for now. University clubs are all managed by vice presidents. I don't know you. And don't put your mind on me. I think it's dirty. Lu Ruyan's defense was instantly broken. The body trembles uncontrollably. What surprised me was, she didn't cry. Biting my lips tightly to stop the tears from flowing. The look towards Ji Jinha. Full of unbelievable pain. Lu Ruyan is not as good as you think. She's just pretending. She's a terrible person. This is the first time I've seen Lu Ruyan lose control like this. Usually, no matter what stimulation she receives, He will always maintain his White Lotus attributes. Strive to create an image of a fragile victim. Ji Jinha heard her words. Finally put down the magazine in my hand. Looked at him straight in the eye. Said word by word. None of your business. She is a woman. I am in the position I am today at such a young age. Don't even think about it. Just know how many beds she has climbed. You want to die. Ji Jinha's cold eyes. All of Lu Ruyan's words were blocked in her throat. That expression made me feel. If Lu Ruyan is saying something, Ji Jinha will really make her pay a terrible price. You came so early. I'm standing upstairs. Interrupted this farce. Enough. Ji Jinha raised her beautiful eyes and looked at me. The expression just now was cold. Instantly turned into a river of spring water. Come down and give me a hug to comfort me. Waited for you all morning. Foot pain. Then I'll hug you. I really like Lu Ruyan's jealous look. Gnashing teeth. When wearing a dress. Through the side glass. I saw Ji Jinha sitting beside me. Stealing glances at me from time to time. Looking at the small mirror next to me. The mirror changes the expression of grievance. I finally found something satisfactory before my face cramped. I kept this expression afterwards. Know that I'm wearing a dress. Asked him if he looks good. He nodded absent-mindedly, intentionally avoiding my gaze. But raised his face. Afraid that I can't see. His face says I'm unhappy. Come and ask me what's wrong. He is so cute. I like it very much. Paramecium is more complicated than him. I asked in agreement. Brother Jinha. What's wrong with you? I deliberately called him in the same tone as Lu Ruyan this morning. I wanted to disgust him on purpose. But his eyes lit up instantly. It was like my Ren and Du meridians were opened in an instant. The smile is rotten on the face. Call again. I don't want to either. But he has that flawless handsome face. Blinking his big, twinkling eyes at me. It's hard for me to refuse. Brother Jinha. Brother Jinha. Baby, you are so beautiful. I bent over and held his face in my hands. So what's wrong with you? Baby, why don't you sit down? I can't control myself like this. I followed his restrained gaze and looked down. I quickly reached out to cover my chest. Slim fit dress. Showing off my upper body advantages. Because I'm bending over. Although not exposed. But it seems to be a deliberate seduction. I'm a little embarrassed. Sit down and twist his ears. Not very happy. Do you say it? Why don't you call me brother? Okay, why did you ask someone to investigate me? Ji Jinha covered her ears. Fingers are slightly curled up nervously. If you want to know anything, just ask me. I will tell you everything. I have no reservations for you. You think slowly. Think about it and tell me later. I can accept almost any reason. His expression seemed to say give me some time to edit it. If he can't write well, he will cry in front of me. I haven't spoken. He pulled his hair in a nuance. Then I asked you to nod. I regret not having any part in my past. I want to know the wise and powerful me in the past. I shook my head. No. Didn't I tell you to nod? I'll edit it for you. Please cooperate with me. He is so cute. I love him so much. You make it up yourself. I frowned a little. He was like a great enemy. His expression became serious. Don't you like me? Because I like it so much. So I checked it out. What's the meaning? I reached out and took the jewelry box that the staff brought over. Put it in Ji Jinha's hands. Open it and take out the diamond necklace. I put it on. Lu Ruyan said. You slept with her in college. I don't. His song exploded in my ears. Although he restrained himself well, I can still hear the suppressed anger. The hand that put the necklace on me didn't shake at all. I didn't know her before. Your father's illegitimate daughter is not very smart. She has your personal belongings. What is a custom pen just for you? So we need to check it out. In case she makes a fuss about it. You believe me. Ji Jinha's face was still angry. Instantly filled with smiles. I love you so much. Don't you even ask what Lu Ruyan said this morning. I can't forget this morning she said I climbed the bed. If I hadn't been busy with other things today, I will definitely teach her a lesson. But don't blame her. People like her who are lazy and good at eating. Of course I can't imagine the connections and resources I have built up through my own strength. In her world, Women can only get to the top through improper means. Just like her mother. I just know you're my baby. A warm current surged through my heart. I remembered the information my assistant brought back. I kissed Ji Jinha on the forehead. Brother Jinha, you're late for your mother's birthday party. Ji Jin's mother's birthday party. Those who came here are all well-known figures in the business circle. Only, there are many young faces that we don't usually see. This kind of banquet. It's a social gathering to some extent. The elders in the family will take this opportunity. Bring out your own kids. Meet people. It would be great if we could bring about a marriage. See you in a white dress. Lu Ruyan walked towards us with a smile on her face. Ji Jin, his face darkened. Brother Jinha, your house is so big and beautiful. Can you take me for a walk? I found that not everyone can be a white lotus. Ji Jinha humiliated her this morning. Now I can come here as if nothing happened. If you have this mentality and do something serious, you will succeed a long time ago. She deserves the title of top white lotus. Do you need to know what my family is like? You don't live here. If we say that the way Ji Jinha looked at Lu Ruyan before, just disgusting words. Now it is covered with a layer of eerie. You want to be irresponsible. What responsibility do I have for you? You, Lu Ruyan, bit your lips, wondering if you were going to cry or not. I couldn't say a word for a long time. Ji Jinha leaned over to my ear and asked, is she constipated? Maybe. We had a great time that night. Isn't it? I know. Your family forced you to marry her, right? Lu Ruyan suddenly laughed. Ji Jinha, I am also a daughter of the Lu family. There's no difference between you and me. I put my hand on my forehead. Lu Ruyan's IQ is really not worthy of her thick skin. How did Lu Yongtao teach her to be so stupid? I suddenly feel lucky that I was raised by my mother. Roll. Ji Jin, his face was black as a line. Reasonable suspicion that Ji Jinha wanted to kill her. From a distance, I saw Lu Yongtao coming over. I gave a kind smile. Holding Lu Ruyan's hand, he said, Lu Ruyan, you and your mother really look alike. They like to interfere with other people's feelings. Is being a mistress in your genes? She angrily shook my hand away. In wearing high heels. Losing focus. I accidentally broke the wine glass on the table next to me. Alarmed the people around. A pair of eyes looking over. Ji Jinha holds my waist. A worried look. I winked at him. He gave a doting smile. Then let me go. I took a deep breath. Stand up straight. Looks like someone who has been wronged. Still looking strong. What's going on? Lu Yongtao looked a little embarrassed. So many celebrities are here. His two daughters made such a big fuss. I spoke before Lu Ruyan. I want to take my sister to meet some friends. She just doesn't want to go. Nothing. No, Dad. Lu Ruyan opened her mouth. Tears fall down like a water curtain came. Speaking out of breath. I can't even speak complete sentences. What happened? You said Daddy makes the decision for you. After saying that, he glared at me with a bad look. I stand back next to Ji Jinha. Lowering his head, he looked guilty. Staring at the decorative necklace on the chest. I couldn't help but smile. Lu Ruyan. I gave you a chance. You're asking for death. Dad, please ask my sister to return Ji Jinha to me. At this moment, a pair of eyes looked over. Lu Yongtao is already embarrassed. But he still patted Lu Ruyan's shoulder patiently. You kid. What nonsense. I'm not messing around. We've already slept. My sister stole the person I liked. She's a bitch who stole my boyfriend. Dad, please. Let them break up. Lu Ruyan wants everyone to know her relationship with Ji Jinha. So I raised my voice intentionally. Ji Jin, his mother, who was standing nearby, was also alarmed. Aunt Jiang walked over through the crowd. Time has left no trace on her. A face more delicate than Ji Jinha. Even if I wear an ordinary black dress. I was attracted to her at first sight in the crowd. She came over and glared at Ji Jinha. Then he touched my hair lovingly. Who made my baby Wei Ran unhappy? The scandal at home disturbed your birthday. I still feel very sorry. After all, Ji Jin, his mother, is very kind to me. It was Ji Jinha who had an affair with someone else. Auntie will decide for you. Lu Ruyan also knew her identity at this moment. Put on a pitiful expression. I came over and wanted to take my aunt's arm. The latter dodged it calmly. Lu Ruyan is not angry either. As soon as I raised my head, tears rolled down my eyes, along her exposed neck, flowing all the way to the almost invisible ravine on the chest. Auntie, I am Ji Jin, his schoolmate. She's also his girlfriend. She took out the pen that was customized for Jiang Chen. Hand it to Aunt Jiang. You should know me. Aunt Jiang didn't react. Just glanced at Ji Jinha lightly. Ji Jin, his face became more and more ugly. When his emotions are about to explode. I held his hand, raised an eyebrow at him. I won't let my man be bullied. You guys were in love in college. But we haven't broken up yet. Yes. So what's the matter with you sleeping with someone in college? You slander me. Lu Ruyan became more and more excited as she spoke. The neat makeup is now all stained with tears. Wei ran you. Lu Yongtao couldn't bear to see his precious daughter embarrassing in front of so many people. Teach me a lesson. Just now when he said Wei ran, you didn't say anything. Now please just stand by and watch. Aunt Jiang holding a goblet. I took a sip of the wine. After Miss Lu flew to the tree and turned into a phoenix. Also forgetful. A man walked out of the crowd. With temper on face. Walk out of the crowd with your hands in your pockets. It's Zhao Yu. Ji Jinha looked at the man and frowned unconsciously. Lu Ruyan seemed to be grasping at a life-saving straw. Pulling Chao Ya's sleeve. Vice President, you came just in time. You tell everyone. Ji Jinha is my boyfriend. Zhao Yu brushed his hand away. Grab her shoulders with your backhand. Stop joking. Ji Jinha doesn't even know you. You lied because they told you to. Right, didn't you forget? In your villa. I spent a night with Ji Jinha. He left me this pen as a token of love. Lu Ruyan looked at me fiercely. That look seems to want to tear me apart. Zhao Yu sneered. Then I asked Aunt Jiang next to me. Can I borrow your big screen? Can. Sorry for disturbing your birthday. I'm so sorry. Ji Jinha holds a birthday party for Aunt Jiang. A classical band was invited. So, a stage with a large screen was installed in the yard. Zhao Yu put a USB flash drive. Plugged into a computer connected to a large screen. It's a surveillance video. The above date is May 16, 2021. When Lu Ruyan was in college. In the picture. Immediately, two figures appeared, kissing each other all the way. The two people started caressing each other from the stairs. Clothes and pants were taken off layer by layer along the stairs. When both of them were only in their underwear. Just walk to the room on the second floor. Open the door and go in. You don't have to think about what you're doing. Lu Ruyan's face is clearly visible in the video. But the boy she was in love with was not Ji Jinha. It's Zhao Yu. Lu Ruyan froze in place. Uncontrollable shaking of the body. Biting his lips hard until a bloody hole appeared. Zhao Yu deliberately freezes the video at. The man hugged Lu Ruyan's legs. The scene of her against the door. Her ecstatic expression makes me feel ashamed. It doesn't seem to be Ji Jinha. Impossible. You tampered with the video. Lu Ruyan screamed. Completely forgot. Maintaining her harmless white lotus image. I have many backups of this video. Welcome to find technicians for identification. I heard she was an illegitimate daughter. Maybe she is jealous of her daughter and wants to marry into a wealthy family. Although the others around didn't say anything. But the look in his eyes was full of contempt. Which wealthy family would want such a wanton mistress? Zhao Yu touched his hair. She said this pen was given to her after she slept with me. Taken from me. It wasn't given to him by Ji Jinha. Zhao Yu never looked at Ji Jinha from beginning to end. He knows it himself. Because of my own obsession. He is no longer worthy of Ji Jinha's friendship. Have they ever been in love? No. Ji Jinha doesn't even know her. She herself is in love. How much resentment Lu Ruyan gave me. How happy I feel. I'm not a good person. People respect me. I will give you 1/10. Ji Jinha gave me a thumbs up. Lu Ruyan had a crush on Ji Jinha throughout college. But in Ji Jinha's eyes, she never existed. When Ji Jinha was appointed as the new department president, the vice president held a farewell party for the department at his villa. Lu Ruyan used her usual pitiful face. Instigated the vice president to pass the drugged wine to Ji Jinha. The vice president had ulterior motives towards her. Just change the wine glass. Let her drink the wine herself. Afterwards, the vice president did not want to be held responsible. Just keep the pen that Ji Jinha gave him. Let Lu Ruyan mistakenly think. The person with him that night was Ji Jinha. This is called evil will be punished by evil. The farce is over. The party continues. Aunt Jiang took my hand and walked to Lu Yongtao. Elegant behavior. Gentle. Some people. You better not bring it out again to embarrass yourself. Today, for the sake of Wei Ran baby, I will not pursue her for defaming my son in public. There will be a next time. Our cooperation ends here. Just now, Wei Ran baby begged me for mercy. Let me not be angry at you. Such a good daughter is not cherished. Allow others to bully. Today I speak clearly. I will continue to cooperate with Wei Ran baby. In your family, I will only cooperate with Wei Ran baby. Lu Yongtao said. Look at me and hesitate. Wei Ran. I didn't expect Ruyan to be like this. I smiled at him. It's over. The dream of a wealthy family is shattered. She will never get over me in her life. Zhou Yu gave me a look. I raised my glass, nodding to him slightly across the crowd. It took me a while to find him. Fortunately, he is short of money. And I am rich. My baby is so awesome. Thanks to you for keeping me innocent. Brother Jinha. Brother Jinha. If you do this, I will commit a crime. I ran my fingers across his cheek. His Adam's apple moved up and down unconsciously. Grab my hand. I'm not very flirty. Brother Jinha. You've been secretly in love with me for so many years. You won't know until you check. I was shocked when I checked. I thought we had a mutual understanding in the business world. I never thought it was his many years of preparation. Everyone knows that Ji Jinha has never been in a relationship in 4 years of college. Because he has someone he particularly likes. Our first encounter. I am a teaching assistant. Followed the instructor to their school to teach students. Ji Jinha said that he was attracted to me at first sight. After I went abroad to study. He studied hard behind Aunt Jiang. When my students come back, see that shining him, standing in a 5-level office. Reach out to me and say hello. My name is Ji Jinha. So are you responsible for putting out the fire you started? Look into his eyes that are burning with fire. I slowly stood up. A neat escape. I care about your beauty. Don't think too beautifully. Lu Ruyan committed suicide. What a coincidence. Just as Lu Yongtao walked into the house, Lu Ruyan's knife cut her wrist. I'm standing on the 2nd floor, looking at the red blood on the ground, thinking about how to get her to move out of this house. I originally thought, as long as Lu Ruyan and his mother stay where they are, you'll let Lu Ruyan go. At least give her a way out. But some people are always greedy. Lu Ruyan comes out of the hospital. Besides Lu Yongtao, there's a woman following me. Lu Ruyan's mother San Yanxiang. When they saw me, kneel down in front of Lu Yongtao. Compared to the idiot Lu Ruyan, her mother's green tea acting skills are even better. San Yanxiang said, I know you hate us mother and daughter. Ruyan is young. In terms of means, I can't compare with you. Lu Yongtao always says you are sensible. But you see, she committed suicide. Let her live. I beg you. What a great mouth. A few words. What Lu Ruyan did before. It became that I deliberately framed. She is still that innocent white lotus. Yanxiang, you get up first. What does this sound like? The way Lu Yongtao looks at San Yanxiang. I feel so sad. To stand out among Lu Yongtao's many lovers. Of course she has some tricks. She knelt down. My image in Lu Yongtao's mind. I'm afraid it will fall again and again. But it doesn't matter. During this period, I have been secretly acquiring shares in the company. Wait until I get the shares. Become the largest shareholder. The company. What Lu Yongtao said doesn't count. Suddenly a large number of netizens appeared. Sent out the photo of San Yanxiang and her daughter kneeling down to me. The content of the copy is all about me fighting for the family property. Framed sister. Force people to commit suicide. Then hid at the door and made him kneel down. The identity of Lu Ruyan's illegitimate daughter was concealed. I know she completes a lot of projects in a year. But in our circle, we all know how she got here. That's so tactful. He climbed into bed and even climbed over my husband's bed. Shameless. For a while, I became the target of public criticism. Most netizens are not from the business world.